that's the correct way. I actually started the spoken word when I first came to Christ. And I tried to memorize it, but I feel like I got a little nervous. So it's like every time I tried memorizing, I forgot it. So I'm just going to be reading it. And this is for every person who feels like they always go back to the same thing, or they always fall back into what their sin was or what God took them out of. And this is just part of my testimony and part of how God took me out of things that I wasn't supposed to be doing in the first place. And the poem is called How Dare I? I lived a life of condemnation. I was guilty and felt unworthy. How dare I stand before you? How dare I ask for your forgiveness? How dare I? I was ashamed. My whole life was all a blame. I was in rebellion to my Creator, to the one who was greater. I defied and I disobeyed. How dare I? To my father and my mother, I lied and I hated them. I justified my reactions by their actions. I felt I had to bring justification to the humiliation. Although unjust they were, the word says to honor them. But I refused. I believed in an eye for an eye. When they laid their hands, I did not cry. Instead, my spirit died. How dare I? In my youth, my purity was taken at 18. In my immaturity, I gave it. At least this time it was my choice. It was my voice. In my opinion, it was okay, but this is not the way. My body is a temple. However, I did not follow that example. How dare I? I was fully dead inside. I was withering away. Anorexia became the deception that ruined my self-perception. I began to throw up endlessly. It was voluntarily. I had deep wounds, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. My deepest wounds were the ones caused by my own hands. The pain led to these commands. I joined the devil for a ride. I began to hide in the depression. Every day I cried. As I look back, I can see God standing by my side, waiting to be my guide. How dare I? I worship idols and gave them God's title. I prayed to them, even though I was enslaved by them. I bowed down and gave them God's glory. Yes, this is my story. How dare I? It is He who died on the cross, the one who was tossed, the one who shed His clean blood so that my life would not be a loss. How dare I? I looked for love in all the wrong places and in the wrong faces. I searched high, I searched low. I even searched in the wind that would blow. I searched the day, I searched the night. The rays of the sun couldn't compare to the light of the living God. The beam of the stars, the glow of the moon had nothing on the Father of lights. My life was bought. The price that was paid could never be made. Then my blessings became increased, for my old life was deceased. My evil ways slowly decreased until they ceased. How can this be? Dare I accept His forgiveness? After He was slain and then taken away, hail Almighty for the price that God paid. So as I rejoice for the love that He gave, I came to the realization that I was His creation and I was remade. I once made an oath to bow to whomever was perfect, if there was ever one worth it. As I became filled with the Spirit, I fell to my knees, I became clean. My life before me was unseen. My previous uprisings that I was disguising became redeemed. By His grace I was saved. I found the one that I love. He thought me, He bought me, He sought me. He reached out, He grabbed me, He called me, He loved me, and He washed me. Being the sinner that I was, I returned to my old ways after a few days. I didn't forget that I am, but I rejected being His selected after what He had perfected. Living in deliverance was unknown to me. How dare I? I made a commitment outside of marriage. Once again, I perished. I separated from the groom. I lost sight of the kingdom because I had no biblical wisdom. Sexual immorality led to my fatality, yet the Lord communicated with the one who fornicated. Again, He forgave His created. How dare I? The story reversed. He dropped down on one knee. As He cried in agony, He picked up the cross and He said, follow me. I do this for thee. As He was knocked down by the Pharisees, His proposal to be engaged to me didn't come with a silver piece of jewelry, but it came with the opportunity to be with Him for all eternity. He demonstrated His love to me. I am the bride. He is now by my side. Never will I deny Him nor live in shame, not after what He did in His holy, righteous name.
Give it up. That was powerful.